Hi, so today I have here Deshaun Mitchell. Could you please state your name and title?
My name is Deshaun Mitchell, and I am the freshman representative for the Maryville's Muslim Student Association.
Great. All right. So how has being a part of the Muslim community shaped your life so far?
Being a part of the Muslim community was actually a big impact because my parents, with me becoming Muslim, I won't say that they weren't unsupportive, but they weren't really there because they didn't know about it. And I feel like it was an education process, and it still is an education process for my parents, because it's a shock, because I grew up Christian, and that's all that they've known. We didn't really look out to see what it was, but it also shaped my life in a special way because I have a lot of friends that are Muslim, and they would just show me things about Islam, and I was like, wow, I didn't know what it is, and I was like, wow, and I got more interested in it, and so take it back a year, that's when I really decided that I wanted to be a part of the community, and I decided to revert.
So coming from a personal perspective, I'm Christian as well. So do you see any similarities? Personally, I do see similarities between Christian and Muslim.
Oh, most definitely. There's this argument that people would say that that Christianity and Islam have different gods, but it's all it's Abrahamic. It's the Abrahamic book. It's the book. Just like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they all are Abrahamic religions, so they all stem from the same, I won't say the same beliefs, but they all stem from the same God. At least that's how I see it.
Totally agree. So in regard to the recent New Zealand mosque tragedy, what was the first thought that came through your mind when you found out?
The first thought that came to my mind, I was shocked. I was really shocked. Because it was New Zealand. New Zealand is a really you don't hear too much about them. They're not really you wouldn't hear of something like this coming from New Zealand. Right. It's a really small country. They aren't really aggressive, and I was really heartbroken because I saw the video of the man, and it was really heartbreaking to see that he had this intention to kill all these people, and in his what is it called? It's something that he wrote. He wrote something out to say this is why he did it or whatnot. I read some of that too, and it was wow, there are people really out here who are uneducated and who just have that intent to kill and to hate, and that's exactly the opposite of Islam. Islam is peace, and so it shook me because how could a man get away with doing such things?
Right.
How can and I'm not gonna say he got away with it because he didn't. He's facing the death penalty or something. I don't know what's happening over there, but I know he's in trouble, and that's all I really wanted. I'm not gonna say I wanted him to see that, but I would say that I wanted justice.
Yeah, you wanted him to actually face what he did.
Yes, I want him to face what he did. I want him to see those 50 families, and I want him to know that he has affected 50 people that don't all look the same, 50 people that are different, 50 people that live different lives. They're not all the same. They all worship the same God. They're all Muslims, but they all are affected differently by it. They're all different families. They're not all the same.
That was really powerful, Deshaun. I like that. All right. So, do you believe that the United States was affected by the tragedy as well?
Of course. Every human is affected by this. It's not just because it's not us, it doesn't affect us. It affects everybody because we have people here in the United States who are United States citizens who may have family over there who may have been affected by it. Nobody knows anybody's story until they say their story. And so everybody here is affected, not just the Muslim community here, but everybody. It could be somebody who converted, who moved over to New Zealand, lives there now. You don't know anybody's situation, and you don't know where they come from. And I feel like that's a really important part of it, is for everybody to mourn together and to try to find a way to fix it. But everybody's not willing to do that because people have this outlook on life where it's as if it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't affect me. My president, the president of the Muslim Student Association, she has a very great quote that I can't quote it directly, but she has a very great quote that talks about exactly that. And it's we really don't think about things until it affects us. Because there's also 141 Muslims who died in Mali, and nobody's talking about it.
I didn't even hear about that until yesterday.
Yeah.
At the vigil.
Nobody said anything about it, and it just saddens me because it's not just a Muslim problem; it's a human problem.
Yeah.
Because we allow people to do this.
And people only talk about what they think is correct.
Exactly.
They'll actually care about.
Exactly.
Yeah. it's the society. Society's crazy. So, do you believe that the Muslim community has a huge support system?
That's a difficult question, because the Muslim community, we have our own problems, just like any other community. But our biggest support system is ourselves. And I will say the Black Lives Matter movement, they're really big supporters of the Muslim community. So I would say that other than that, there's nobody except the Black Lives Matter community, the Black community, and the Muslim community. We're really the only ones that support ourselves. But now that we have a new Democratic representative in government that can really take, actually not one but two representatives for the democracy side in government, now that can really like help us move forward with keeping in mind there are people of the Islamic faith when making decisions in government, you know?
Yeah, because I know that in New Zealand they just passed a law with they're banning guns or something like that. Do you think that since we just had a new change in the Democratic Party, do you think that would change here as well, or do you think it's going to take a while?
That'll, honestly, with how politics are right now, I think it will take a while. But there's also so many people who are seeing the light of goodness, you know, not being negative or not wanting to, they're starting to have this outlook, the outlook that we all need about people in the, how do I put this? People in the government are starting to have this outlook. I'm starting to see it more. But there's also there's the bad and the good. The good side, I'm starting to see more of them starting to speak up, you know, and to say like this is wrong, or to be like, no, we don't need this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm starting to see that more. But don't get me wrong, there's still like the bad side of government, the negative side who has all these negative outlooks on life, and it's all about the money.
Right.
Yeah, they're growing too, but both sides are coming up, and we're starting to see a lot of it.
So when you think of the word successful, who is the first person that comes to mind and why?
Salsa Bell Ferris. Because I've known her for 8 years, and she is one of the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life.
She is.
Ever, yeah.
She's doing a lot right now. She's stressed, but she's working through it. She supports me more than like anything. And
she's a really good support system as well.
As well. So thank you for our time. Did you have any other words for our viewers before we go?
Yes. Islam is peace. I don't know who's going to see this, and I don't know what reasonings people will have behind this, but I really want people to know that Islam is peace. The Muslim community, we're peaceful. We're not out to get people. We're not terrorists. We're none of that. We're just regular people just like everybody else.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching.